My name is Lieutenant Colonel Michael Soretto, Director of the Office of Counterterrorism at the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. New York State is a top target for terrorism, and recent attacks demonstrate that terrorists will use any means necessary to inflict harm around the world, in the United States and right here in New York. We continue to see terrorist plots and attacks using materials that are easy to purchase. For example, terrorists have used supplies readily available at hardware stores, big box stores, and other retailers to build and detonate homemade bombs. Terrorists have also rented vans and trucks to conduct ramming attacks. A wide variety of businesses across the state sell materials and resources that alone mean nothing, but when purchased in large quantities or together with other items or coupled with suspicious behavior, could be indicators of terrorism. Each year, in conjunction with federal, state, and local law enforcement, our office conducts outreach to businesses across the state to educate employers on signs of suspicious activity related to terrorism. As a result of these visits, businesses have asked for additional resources to share with their employees, which is why we produced this short training video for retail businesses across the state. This video, just like retail loss prevention training, will give you a basic understanding of what to look for if someone is trying to commit a crime using items that your company sells or provides. As you watch the video, it's important to remember to focus on behaviors, not what a person looks like. Now more than ever, being able to recognize and report suspicious behavior is essential to our fight against terrorism. As employees of retail businesses across New York State, you are in many instances our first line of defense against potential terrorist attacks. As important partners in our counterterrorism efforts, we ask that you always remain vigilant and stay alert, keeping in mind the information highlighted in this video. And remember, if you see something, say something.
There's them all over here looking. Check 922.
Excuse me, do you know what time the band plays on the main stage? Have fun.
There's this strange guy, and I think he's got a pressure cooker and some wires in his backpack. This stuff looks like it could be used for making a bomb. A woman with a baby stroller just met up with this strange guy. No baby in the stroller, just another duffel bag. She opened it up and handed him something. It looks like they're putting something together inside the backpack, and they keep looking around to see if anyone is noticing. I'm serious. I think something strange is going on here that could be dangerous. I'm taking a picture and sending it to the police. I'm going to trust my gut on this one.
Anthony, look what just came in on the CSend app.
That's them. Alert event security and contact Lambert and Diaz. They should be working the perimeter.
You really think they're here?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, I think I got something.
Lambert,
We've got a positive ID. Suspects are heading north towards the municipal parking lot. Female suspect is pushing a baby stroller.
female pushing a baby carriage?
Yeah, we got him.
We got him.
Requesting backup at the Riverside Administration Building. Hey guys, can you please point me to the main stage?
City police, let me see your hands. Don't move.
District Attorney's Office is really moving fast on this one.
I'm not surprised. Are you?
Not really, especially considering that nearly 5,000 people were at Riverfest.
Anika Dar is a good DA. I'm just thankful we caught these two before they had a chance to do serious damage.
Detectives Lambert and Diaz, thank you for coming over on such short notice. Heard that you were working with the feds on that active shooter incident last month.
A lot of brave people in that building.
So I hear.
So, how's that case going?
He'll never see the outside of a prison cell for the rest of his life. And that's if he's lucky. But that's not why I asked you here today. As you probably know, the two suspects from Riverfest have been arraigned. And because the both of you were the lead investigators, I'd like to go over some of the details of the case with you.
Well, we definitely got a lot of help from the community on this one.
Yeah, we got several reliable leads early on, and that was the difference maker.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Well, our first lead came from a pool supply store in the south end of town.
Excuse me? We're looking for Kevin Ward.
Yes, that's me.
I'm Detective Lambert, and this is Detective Diaz. We're from the police department. Did you report an incident that occurred in your store earlier today?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the incident?
Sure. So this guy walks into the store. He was a white guy, beard, mustache, wearing a baseball cap, sunglasses. He makes his way over to the chemicals and starts acting strange.
Strange how?
Like he was trying to shield his face.
Do you know what chemicals he was interested in?
He was looking at large containers of chlorine and muriatic acid. Again, he was acting strange, so I went over and asked him if there was anything I could help him with. And he said he needed large containers of chlorine and muriatic acid. When I asked him what for, he didn't answer. So I looked him straight in the face and asked him how big his pool was. Well, that must have spooked him because he turned around and left.
So, chlorine and muriatic acid are used for cleaning pools?
Yes, but in much smaller amounts. If you start buying this stuff in bulk and then mix it together, you can cause one hell of an explosion. I could tell this guy wasn't from a pool installation company, and like I said, he was acting really strange, so I called it in.
You did the right thing, Mr. Ward. We'll look into it. If you can think of anything else, give us a call.
Did you know that one of the first things they teach you in a retail theft prevention class is to make direct eye contact with someone who you suspect might be thinking of stealing?
Of course. Because the employee made direct eye contact, he felt he could be identified, caused him to think twice.
Exactly.
I also think it had something to do with providing good old-fashioned customer service.
Absolutely.
People like this don't want to engage with the employee. They want to control the situation and conversation.
Well, good customer service can help identify suspicious behavior.
Yes, it can. So where did you get your next lead?
A hardware store down on Finney Boulevard.
He was about 6 feet, medium build. He had a reddish beard and mustache. He was wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses. He was over in the pipe section. So I went over, asked him if he needed any help. He told me that he needed a threaded galvanized pipe, some end caps, a couple of small propane containers, and an assortment of bolts and nails for a residential job. First off, he seemed to have no idea what diameter pipe he needed, which is important. So I asked him, what's the pipe for? And he said it's for a plumbing job, which is all wrong.
Yeah, you need copper piping for a plumbing job, right?
Exactly.
How did he react to that?
He claimed that his father-in-law had sent him in to get the supplies and that maybe the pipe was for another job. Same thing with the bolts and nails. He had no idea what sizes he needed. He just needed a lot of them.
And how about the propane?
For a cookout. Everything about this just didn't feel right. He was unfamiliar with the building materials, and the combination of the parts that he wanted to buy, it just seemed sketchy. So when he came up to the cash register, I took out my phone and I took a photo of him.
And he saw you do this?
I think he must have. Because a minute later he claimed that he forgot his wallet in the car. He leaves the store, never comes back.
Yeah, you trusted your gut. It's the right thing to do.
This guy sounds familiar. You still have that picture you took?
Yeah.
Good. Let's get this picture over to the State Intelligence Center.
Yeah.
Couldn't score with chemicals, so he turned his attention towards making a pipe bomb.
Well, it helped that the employee understood residential construction.
When pressed for answers, people like this usually don't hold up too well.
That's definitely what happened in this case. So tell me about the lead at the truck rental location.
She was pretty tall, about 5'9", long blonde hair, wearing a dark jacket, sunglasses, and a black military cap. And asking a lot of strange questions right out of the gate.
Could you be more specific?
Questions like about Riverfest. How many people attend? Is the security tight?
What did you tell her?
Told her I didn't know. Then she started asking questions about our box trucks. Do they have GPS? How much weight do they carry? Things like that.
Did you ask her what she was planning to haul?
Yes, and she told me to mind my own business. But the kicker for me was her driver's license.
How so?
I've seen a lot of driver's licenses in my time, and this one was definitely fake to me. The ID numbers were different font sizes and crooked. The photo was crooked too. So I told her we didn't have a truck for rental.
And how did she react to that?
Said she could pay cash, up front.
You know what a normal business transaction looks like, and this wasn't normal, Mr. Nilsson. You did good. This could lead to something. We'll stay in touch.
These were all solid leads, which led to an increased police presence at the Riverfest and eventually to the arrest of the suspects. But before that happened, these two did eventually find the means of gathering materials that could be used to make an improvised explosive device, along with a rental van for transport.
Officers at the scene did recover a receipt from the van. Belonged to a store in the north side of town.
The suspects posed as a young couple. They entered the store with 2 carts and immediately began gathering materials, which included 6 pressure cookers, Christmas tree lights, camping fuel, an assortment of bolts and nails, 3 track phones, and 2 backpacks.
The employees that assisted them did ask them what they needed all those items for, but the couple responded by saying they were going to throw a big party to celebrate Riverfest weekend.
One of the employees did tell us that the female suspect asked several strange questions about the backpacks. She asked if they were chemical proof, and how much weight they could carry, and how much pressure they could withstand before ripping. The employee thought it was strange, but didn't report it.
The couple gets to the register, pays for everything in cash, and starts to leave. The manager walks by, sees what they had in the cart, and actually follows them to the parking lot and watches them load everything into the van.
Like everyone else in the store, he felt that something wasn't right, but didn't report it. If they could only have been on the scene when we opened that van, I think they would have handled the situation differently.
Seth, let's take a look at this.
We need to call the FBI.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just wondering if these 2 are the only ones in on the job.
In order for a terrorist plot to have any chance of success, the attackers need a means or mechanism to carry out their plan.
And often that mechanism is you, the retail and business community of New York State.
And in the end, the results can be devastating. A concert or sports venue, government buildings, points of transit like an airport or a train station, a university, a place of worship, all places of mass gatherings, all of them at risk for an act of terror.
In this case, the clues were all there. A cash payment for something typically paid for by credit card, questionable identification, a keen interest in a location used for mass gatherings, questions about security, and purchasing items in bulk which usually aren't bundled together.
Pressure cookers, backpacks, Christmas tree lights, track phones, camping fuel, an assortment of bolts and nails. By themselves, not suspicious. But in combination, they become the makings of an improvised explosive device and are commonly available in a variety of stores. Having said that, we do not want you to concentrate on these particular products and begin making a list. Why? Because stores are filled with a number of items that could be potentially used in combination to create an explosion. What we do want you to focus on are items purchased in large quantities that aren't normally bundled together.
Remember, an attacker could be anyone, so it's important to focus on suspicious behavior and activity, and not what someone looks like.
The potential attack that we just highlighted was stopped because people trusted their gut. The pool supply store, hardware store, and truck rental employees all knew something wasn't right and acted on it, including the young woman at Riverfest who used the See Something, Send Something app on her phone to positively identify the suspects. The app allows anyone to capture suspicious activity as a photo or written note and then send that information to the New York State Intelligence Center. From there, the tip will be reviewed and, if relevant, sent to the appropriate law enforcement agency. The app can be downloaded free for iPhone and Android phone users at ny.gov/csendny.
We're asking the retail and business communities of New York State to trust their instincts. You are not being a busybody by asking credible follow-up questions. If anything, you're providing good customer service. Train your employees on what type of suspicious behavior they should be looking for, the types of follow-up questions they should be asking, how to spot suspicious purchases, and most importantly, who to call to report an incident.
Again, you know what's normal in your place of business. If something doesn't appear normal, you need to act on that suspicion. Yes, we still need to be cognizant of signs of terrorism in our communities, like unattended bags in public places, or individuals taking pictures of security cameras or using surveillance equipment at sensitive locations or at events with large crowds.
But for the retail and business community, these signs of terrorism are directly linked to suspicious behaviors, suspicious questions, and suspicious purchases, the markers of destruction.
To report suspicious activity, call the New York State Terrorism Hotline at 1-866-SAFE-NYS. That's 1-866-723-3697. All calls are toll-free and will remain strictly confidential.
Try to remember everything we talked about today. Your life and the lives of others may depend on it.